welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Hot Tea Hot Chocolate. You already know what it is. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe. We got all the tea, period. So today, guys, we're here without being asked to be here, but it was always really weird to me how this lady came out of nowhere after we all have been keeping up with Blueface for years and Krishan for years, and we never heard of you. And then all of a sudden, when he goes to jail, you expose a couple messages between the two of you, and then you start calling yourself his assistant. Now, after all this time, when Blueface is almost getting out, the lady decides to come out and say, oh, I was never his assistant. I don't know why people keep saying that. Lady, read the messages, right? You just said it. Like, you were saying this. You told people this. We didn't know you. We weren't asking for you. We didn't send for you. I don't even know who sent for you or why you're here. But we are, so we're going to get to it. Basically, in this video, she's going into detail about how basically she's a Jaden fan who never knew Blueface or doesn't know Jaden, and she basically just got into an argument with Blueface online, and then all of a sudden they were cool. He wooed her over, and then now she likes him and she wanted to work for him, and she just basically was his PR assistant who gave him advice, which was not a PR assistant because you didn't have a title. Yeah. So we'll just get into the video and let her talk herself into a hole, because you ain't even never been to California, baby. How are you somebody's assistant and you ain't never met him? Oh, sorry. Don't mean to call you an assistant. You said that you weren't that. All right. Let's just watch the video.
How do you know this stuff? Someone either team leaking stuff to you? Yep. I hope her source isn't Jerica, because she lies a lot. I don't think Jerica lies. I think Jerica, I don't think Jerica lies. I think that a lot of people give misinformation. A lot of his people talk to the blogs. They talk to the people that really be, for Blueface, or that was for the situation. They keep the entertainment going on live. And I think even me, that's happened to me, where one of their friends said something to me. I believed it. I said it. They gave me permission to say it. And because I do speak to people, they say, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I work building motorcycles, and every day of the week I'm a mom. I'm a lot of different things, wear a lot of different hats, and I was also became a celebrity representative. I got this on my receipt at the bank. I got to see how much they talk about on my account. She gave me $200. Wait, I asked for $100, not $200. But I gotta go to California because I have a lot of friends over there, especially when I was working with Blueface. I know that's like a controversial topic, or used to be, not no more because he's in jail, but he'll be getting out soon, and I'm kind of excited. That man gave me a run for my money. I'm an entrepreneur, and I do a lot of things like with financial stuff and credit, different things like that, and people thought that's what I did with him, which was not the case. I guess he already had good credit and financial situation together. I did not do that for him. I was more like a PR assistant, I guess. I don't know how to put it, but I was trying to give him, basically, before he did some dumb stuff, I would try to be the voice of reason, basically. That's what I would do. I would try to give him advice. I would give him advice, and he would take my advice sometimes. So a lot of times when he was like quiet, and it's like, oh, he was with this person, that person. Actually, he wasn't. I just told him to shut up. I said, don't say nothing, because no matter what you say, they're going to turn it around. One, you're a guy. Two, that's just how it works. Sorry to say. So, and he made a lot of decisions that wasn't good decisions. So you're not on the good end of the stick right now. So just be quiet. And that's what I would tell him. Like, just don't say nothing right now. And then other times, this one time, I will admit, I did get him started. Like, he was asleep, and I remember messaging him or something and saying that Soldier Boy said blah 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 XYZ about Jaden. He didn't know. I told him because we agreed to tell him. Me and a bunch of other supporters, they asked me to tell him. So I told him, like, hey, such and such said this about Jaden. I don't know why. I kind of figured it would happen. So it's kind of on me. I was like, are y'all sure we want to do this? Because y'all know how he get. Once you get him started, he don't stop. And it's true. Like, and we done woke up the beast. That man was going for that man went hard for like 2 weeks straight. I was like, oh my gosh, why did we get him started? Because he don't stop. And then when we got him started, people got mad like he need to be quiet. Y'all know how that man is. Y'all know how he acts. Once you get him started, there's no turning back. Especially if he's like, drinking and stuff like regular people do. Young people do. But I done told that man what Soldier Boy said about Jaden. That man went on a rampage for like 2 weeks and he never stopped. I was like, oh my gosh. I just laugh because what can you do? That's a grown man. I can only help but so much. So that's the only thing I think I don't know, because he would have seen it either way. He was going to see it because people start tagging him in it and stuff. But I literally have the messages where I woke him up and said, hey, Soldier Boy said da 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 da. That man went crazy. Like you said, what? He flipped out. Despite what people may think, like when it comes to him and his baby mom, he loves that girl. He loves her in a way. It don't gotta be like a romantic love or like, oh yeah, they gonna be together, all this other stuff. Like, that's your family. And he is an asshole. And I would say that. I forgot we can't cuss on here. But Blueface, it can be an a-hole. But he's actually, what a lot of people don't know is he's actually a really nice person. I met him. I started talking. A lot of people wondering like how I started talking to him. We actually had an online dispute. Me and him had a dispute, and then we was talking in the direct message, and we settled our dispute like grown people. And he was actually really nice. And then even though we had a dispute, he was like very motivating, like, your time will come, blah blah blah, just motivating me out of nowhere, like, you're going, this, that, and the third, like being really nice about it. I still have those messages. So despite what people think, he might, everything on the internet is not always quote unquote real. It's not always fake either, but it's not always like what people put it out to be. Like, he plays the villain well, and that's what gets him attention. That's what gets him money. When I was working with him, when he was with his, got engaged and stuff and with his family, that's when I didn't mind working for him, because that's my brand. I have a family, I'm a mom, so I don't mind. That's the type of brand I want to pursue. So I don't mind helping people try to be better people. And that's what my job was, like, basically trying to help them be a better person. But what I was saying earlier was, a lot of people kept saying that I was Blueface's assistant. I was not his assistant. I was his quote unquote, like, thank you. I was not his assistant. I was his, like, pure representative type of assistant. Basically, my job to help him, how can I say it, be a better person, basically, online. So back then, this is when the time when he was with his family and he was got engaged and stuff like that, when he was playing the family man. Because that's what my brand is. My brand is about, hi honey, thank you. My brand is about family, love, positivity, these things that, so that's why I took a step back, because when they start getting too much, too negative, and there's always going to be a little bit of drama. That's just how it goes. But if it's not my forte and it's not what my brand wants to, show, I'm not going to, be all into it or have the motivation to be into something, that I wouldn't represent. But anyway, I was not his assistant. I was like his PR rep assistant. So it was like I gave him advice. And a lot of times he did take my advice, I will say that. And a lot of times, like certain times when he got quiet and they was like, oh, Blueface is quiet. half of them times I can say it's because I told him to shut the F up. Like, don't say nothing, just because no matter what he would say back then, everybody would flip it around. People would make it more than what it is. He was a guy. He made some bad decisions. So no matter if he was telling the truth or not telling the truth, they was going to spin it anyway. So what was the point of saying anything? So not all the time, but I would say half of the times he was quiet back then, it was because I told him to be quiet. And I have receipts of everything I would talk about, everything I'm saying. I just, as a professional, don't always post or don't have to post certain things, because when you know, you know. Or I would ask permission first. Secondly, the one time that when he was crashing out, and everybody's saying he was crashing out for other reasons, which he wasn't. He was crashing out because of his own fault, honestly. But he was crashing out because Jaden left him. She took the kids. He was so happy. He finally had his second chance. She came back. Because when she first came back, it was for security purposes. But a lot of people don't know. Because a lot of the fans start getting crazy. They start threatening her. Mind you, she lived in an apartment building. Threatening to show up to her apartment building. Threatening to do this and that and the third. Mind you, she has a son and a baby. First of all, who would you threaten somebody till you would do that? But people do that. They was exposing her address. She lived in an apartment building, no security. That was one of the major reasons he told her to come back to his house. At least it's a locked community. Nobody could just walk up in there. So that's when she came back. But when she came back, she made it clear that they still weren't in a relationship. They're always going to be friends. They're always going to be family, obviously. I know that for a fact. I've been with my kid's dad off and on for about, I'm going to say 17 years now. But for people to automatically assume that she just going to let him go or not be cool with him, different things that, and third, it's kind of hard. Like, that's all she knows. It's not an excuse, but that's the only man she's ever been with. That's the only person she ever knows, knew in that intimate type of way. That's her kid's father. And as she stated before, she didn't have a father. Her father was in jail most of her life. So the people, and that too, the people that was like making fun of her or saying stuff because she was Mexican, and it's not that she don't embrace her Mexican side, but she never grew up with her Mexican side of the family because her dad was in jail. She doesn't speak Spanish, she doesn't know Spanish. That doesn't take away from her heritage, but it is what it is. Anyway, as I was stating, Blueface was crashing out that one time because she left. He lost his family. He was in the car with his grandma. He was crying because he knew for a fact he effed up. He knew it. And then she decided to stand on business and say, no, I'm not coming back there. I want my own place. She was down and out for a while, as any woman would be, because you give somebody a second chance and then they get all drunk up and high up and blow it. Long story short, Blueface just wasn't ready to settle down yet. He wasn't ready to be a man. Did he love or does he love Jaden? Obviously he does. Anybody that say he doesn't is crazy. I'm not talking about, because people be like, well, if he don't love her, if he loved her, he wouldn't do this, that, and the dirt. Yes, I'm not talking about in a romantic type of way, like being real. I'm talking about he loved her as a family, the same way you would love your mom, the same way you would love your brothers and sisters, the same way, you would love your best friend. Like, now, and a lot of people, I hate when a lot of people say that, that Jaden supporters or Jaden fans want them to be together. I can't speak for all her fans or all her supporters, but a majority of us don't want her with him. I mean, Blueface, outside of the villain he plays on social media, is actually a nice person and a nice guy. He's just young, money. He plays the villain very well. He has his moments a lot of times. He get to drinking and smoking and acting up. We know how he is, but none of us is perfect. But nobody said, I don't think a lot of us want her with him. But oh yes, I hate that they do that too. They always compare. Yes, they very do. There's nothing to compare though. I hate that when you compare two different people that are just two different people. The fans always compare Jaden to Rock. They always compare them to, but there's no comparison. And then also it's a lot of hypocrisy as well. The things that they bash Jaden for, mind you, because I don't care, that's how I feel, like, that was Jaden, man. That was Jaden baby dad. That was Jaden's everything before anything and everybody. So I'm not saying she owns him, but excuse me, because that's how I feel about mine. Like, that's me. That was me. Like, y'all can't tell me nothing. What are your thoughts on his mom? I actually used to like Carlissa, because anybody that was willing to support my business, because I am a business owner, she supported my business before she had all them followers. When she only had like 40 something K followers, she would share my business and she supported my business. But she was all right with me at first, but I've told her, when you get to calling, because I'm half Puerto Rican and I'm black, so when you get to calling people's, you know, names, not nice names, and maids and stuff like that, oh no, I do not agree with that. I do not like that. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care if it's, you know, getting you followers. That I did not agree with. That's the main thing I did not like that she did, and I told her. But my grown behind got on her, because you're not going to tell me who I like and who I didn't like. And I remember when all this was first happening, and Jaden only had a, you know, I ain't gonna say only had a small group of supporters, but there was a group of us, a few groups of us, you know, that had her back before she, you know, blew up and stuff. We knew the truth about the situation. And I always say, picture yourself in somebody else's shoes. If that was y'all baby daddy, if that was y'all husband, y'all be going to war and going to bat. So the only people that could agree with certain stuff is people that have been side chicks, or people that have been messing with somebody else's husband, or people that are somebody's second and third baby mom. Like, don't sit there and say, oh, this person dumb for going back to somebody that that's the only person she ever knew, and that's the only person she ever been with, when they have more of a quote unquote excuse, because that was their man first. And then a lot of times I hate when people were like, oh, well, that's not her man because he was cheating on her the whole time, da, 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 da. But as one of hundreds and thousands of Jada supporters, I will say, no, we do not want them together. Do we want them to be business partners if they have to be? Yes, because business, you know, everything's written a certain way. Absolutely. But that man's not ready to settle down yet. I have messages from, you know, for days between me and him. And then I also have the messages when he was crashing out. And sometimes I think about, you know, I was going to post it. But when you post that type of stuff, I learned there's a lot of negativity that comes with that as well. And I remember a lot of people saying, why did you take Blueface out of your bio? Because he went a way that wasn't with my brand. And the negativity, I prefer peace. Like, what the heck? Like, I actually talked to him, not saying I'm better than everybody else, but I actually talked to him, had a conversation with him, and had a relationship with him. So I got to know him better than outside of the villain he played. And he is a really good person outside of social media. I can see why people are drawn to him outside of social media, or like him outside of social media, because he is a nice person. He is a good person. And I met him through having a dispute. But then we had a private conversation, and he was actually really nice and actually tried to like motivate me and stuff like that. And that's when he was okay with me. But he did a lot of things I didn't agree with, I didn't care for, but who am I? Like, I tell him about himself. My job was to encourage him to do the right thing, or not to do certain things, which a lot of times he did listen, and then sometimes he didn't, especially if he was drinking or something, you know. When it comes to him and Jaden, people forget she left him this time. Like, he didn't leave her. People keep forgetting. Like, she left him. She left him. They got her a place, and she went about her business. He was sick about it. He was crashing out about it, and then he moved on. But I was not his assistant. I hate people saying I was his assistant. I wasn't his assistant. I was his PR rep assistant. There's a difference. It was my job to help him, like, change his image and help him to be a better person, which he was really trying at some point.